listen, we're glad to be in the playoffs, but I know so many fans are like, Buffalo is where our first
we
game
gotta
go? Something a little more tropical?
I mean, it's going to be about 32 there, mostly cloudy skies, which no great surprise, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
Buffalo.
right. Yeah, we're ready for it, right?
Yeah. Around here, we're going to be looking at some nice snowfall moving into the mountains, and then mostly cloudy skies here in Denver tomorrow. Kind of a cool Sunday for the tail end of the weekend. We had cloud cover draped across much of the eastern plains. This is our live camera out there in Akron. Watch this. Boom, that sunshine comes out and it just lights up the clouds so spectacularly. And then, of course, this evening we're watching more clouds starting to push back in. We saw a high of only 29 in Akron. We were in the mid-30s around Greeley, low 40s in Fort Collins out toward DIA. More 20s up through the high country this afternoon. We did touch 41 out at the airport, flip it around, and that was that overnight low. You can see it was a dry day, no precipitation, but wow, that storm system that cruised through yesterday now impacting parts of the eastern seaboard. They were looking at snow and ice out there in Atlanta, and this storm system is just going to continue to charge off to the east. Out to the west, of course, we're still monitoring high fire danger for Southern California and those heartbreaking wildfires. And now another storm will be rolling into the state late tonight into tomorrow morning, currently sitting across the inland northwest. We'll be watching the cloud cover pushing in first, and also some really gusty winds late tonight across the Front Range Mountains and foothills into early tomorrow morning. Could even see some blowing and drifting snowfall out there along the higher mountain passes. Hopefully these winds should quiet down by about the lunch hour tomorrow. This evening, overnight lows will dip into the teens and 20s for the I-25 corridor. Even cooler, of course, up in the mountains down to about 3 below in Gunnison, 9 in Winter Park, and 7 in Kremling overnight. I'll show you the futurecast and what we're expecting as the storm system digs south into Colorado. We'll be looking at widespread mountain snow with several advisories in place up toward the park and elk heads, around the Front Range Mountains too. But by Saturday evening, most of that snowfall will be on the ground and that storm system will be moving out. And looking at the futurecast, 11 o'clock or so tonight, a little bit of light snowfall just beginning, but really it's going to be throughout the overnight hours that we start to see the heavier snowfall stack up. A lot of folks want to hop in the car and head up to the mountains early on a Saturday morning, and it's going to be a little dicey as far as traveling conditions go. We could even be looking at a little bit of rain and snow off to the eastern plains. Now tomorrow afternoon, a few isolated showers will be lingering across parts of the metro area, mainly south toward the Palmer Divide, and then by about 5, 6 o'clock, some drier air moves in. That means some clearing skies for many of us. We do have winter weather advisories in place off to the eastern plains because they could see some ice out there. 4 to 8 inches for the Front Range Mountains around I-72, and then 5 to 10 for the Park and Elk Heads and the Flat Tops as well. Looking at that hour-by-hour forecast, not bad here in Denver. Temperatures, of course, on the cooler side, upper 30s, low 40s, with a mix of sun and clouds. And mainly, if we do see any snowfall, it'll primarily be to the south of the city, toward Douglas, Elbert counties, then perhaps a bit more off to the eastern plains where highs will be in the 30s and low 40s. Highs sitting in the 20s around Nederland up to Allens Park and Estes Park tomorrow afternoon. And then looking at the Super 7-day forecast, back behind that cold front, it will be a chilly day for us on Sunday. The cooler conditions stick around for the start of next week, and then we jump back to the 50s by next Thursday.